What's up, guys? John from Heavyset Tactical here, just at the house relaxing, and I decided I wanted to do a review on one of my knives that I haven't yet. I'm going to turn my air off so it doesn't make that loud humming noise. This is a knife from the Czech Republic called an ANV Acta non Verba, which is Latin for actions, not words, and this is the Acta non Verba ANV. This is the ANV Spelter M311. I haven't been doing tabletop reviews as much because I like using them in the field and you guys getting to see what the knife performs like in the field. But it's good for me sometimes to do tabletop reviews and just show you guys an up close and personal look at the knives, and also to show you what the sizes are. Now, the knife does come with a really great Kydex sheath with these two Molle compatible clips. The knife actually shows up just like this in the box, and it does come with some black paracord as a lanyard. Now I'm going to talk about some specs real quick, and then we're going to go into what I think about it so far. So you can get this in a number of different colors, and they have a really cool topographic map, DLC, which has a bunch of like topograph lines all over it. Then you can also get it with ANV really big in the blade, and you can check it out on their website. I got this particular one from Blade HQ. You guys know I love the guys over at Blade HQ, so I was able to really just order it, and boom, it's at the house. No, foreign ordering or anything like that. Now, the overall length of this knife from tip to tip is 10.8 inches, so it's almost 11 inches long. The blade is 4.7 inches. The thickness of the blade is 0.20 inches. So it's 0.2, which is a great thickness for what the purpose of this knife is. And we'll get to that in a minute. But the thickness is 0.2. The weight of the knife is actually, in my opinion, perfect for a medium-sized belt knife, and especially for a tactical knife. Now, this is tactical, but it's made with the comfort and ability, especially in the grind and with the Elmax, to be a hard-use kind of survival knife, smaller size survival knife. So the weight is 10 ounces, and 10 ounces between 9 and 11 is kind of my sweet spot. I do like a heavier blade, but this is not heavy, guys. This is a really functional, really great weight, and you can choke up on it, and it's just magnificent. It's so comfortable. So, make a long story short, I saw Gideon's Tactical do a knife review on this, and I loved it. And you guys can go over to Gideon's Tactical and just type in ANV Spelter. Now, this has a couple names. This is the Acta non Verba M311 Spelter. So as you can see right here, M311 Spelter, Czech Republic, Elmax. And Elmax, guys, is quickly becoming one of my favorite steels. Now, the ribbing, it's a nice full tang blade. The cutouts on the handle couldn't be more comfortable, and the ribbing in the micarta. This is the olive green micarta. You can get it in black and black, black and gray. Like black micarta that has some white speckles in it, so it looks kind of like gray. You can get a lot of different stuff, and they do. I've checked their website out a little bit. They do offer this type of build a little cheaper. Now, I paid $350 for this on Blade HQ, and I'll put a bunch of, you guys know that I'll drop a bunch of links in the description for companies you can get the knife from and where to find it, and I'll put a link in the description for the original knife company, ANV's website. But so far, I'm really enjoying it, and I put a short out earlier of the comfortability of using this. Now, as you can hear, one of the things is these sheaths are like perfectly fit, but mine is actually a little loose. There's a little bit of, if you do it in a certain way, up and down this way, there's a little bit of play in it. And it's funny, I contacted the company, they got right back to me, and what's funny is they said to send it out and they'll remold a sheath to it. But I know, I know how these sheaths are made. I know how to make them at home. So luckily, it does stay in there, and I've been wearing it, but it's not, you guys know I like that loud click, and I don't like rattle. So as a tactical knife with the DLC coating, it's definitely usable. But mine, they literally got right back to me. They said it was probably just, a slight forming error on the end here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop these off, and and you guys know, I do very honest reviews. I want you guys to know if I've had any problems with things. Now, it has never fallen out, and I don't think it would fall out of the sheath at all, but has a little rattle to it, which I don't hear actually when it's on my hip, only when I'm handling it in the sheath. So I'm going to take a heat gun, and I'm going to heat up these tips here and then press so I get a nice tight lock right against those screw rivets on either side. So it'll be nice and tight up here and have a nice tight grab. But it works. I like how the finger choil is exposed, because when you're grabbing it like this to pull it out, or like this in a hammer grip, as soon as you push that thumb ramp, you're ready to go, and your finger's engaged right against that finger choil. That finger guard. Now the choil is in an absolute perfect spot. For my hand, it's nice because it has jimping in a couple really cool places, here, here, and here. And the jimping is just aggressive enough to get a good grab, but it's not too aggressive to work with, guys. I've held enough knives to know, and I'm going to do a hard use video to be sure of that. But what's really cool about this blade is you can put your finger in the forward finger choil and still be locked up against that thumb ramp. So you can get, excuse me, you can get a really good grab like this, or come up top in this nice cutout here for your thumb. And that is just one of the most comfortably cut out knives I've ever held. So I'm a big fan of it. I'm a big fan of the sheath. I'm going to have to tighten the sheath up a little bit, which is okay. I've never seen that complaint so far on their website. I've never seen that complaint. Have anybody else have that issue? The one Gideon's Tactical had was locked in there real tight. And the other reviews of the retention were fine. So I'm sure it was just, when you buy a knife that's produced in a factory, sometimes you have some issues. That's why I always stress it's good to have tools to work on your knives, and be able to know what's going on with the blades that you're buying, and what the materials are, and kind of how to mend those materials if need be. So yeah, it's a 60 HRC Elmax with the DLC, and 60 is right on the money for me. It's hard, but it's not too hard to be able to sharpen, pretty quickly and easily. My TRC Apocalypse, I love the Elm. I've been really a big fan of the Elmax. So again, guys, this is a really great buy. $350, totally worth it. I mean, the sheath thing sucks, and that's anywhere. That's anytime you're buying things that come from a factory. It's okay. I mean, it's something that I can fix at home. It's not a big deal. It doesn't take from the overall enjoyment of the knife that I've had. So I wanted to just shoot this quick review. I'm going to be putting some videos out of me using this thing in the field. I'll give you another close-up real quick. But yeah, this is the Acta non-Verba M311 Spelter. And I'm telling you guys, this might look aggressive, but it is one of the most perfect handles. It's nice and thick. I mean, it's like 1.1 inches thick. It's nice and thick in your hand, so you can get a good full grab in there. Got room to pull back a little bit if you are doing a little bit of chopping tasks with it. And then as far as in a reverse grip, either side of this has this really grippy top here, and then jimping there for if you want to put your thumb on the back. Super comfortable, guys. Everything about this knife is is, Gideon's Tactical says it correctly. There's sometimes you see a knife and you know that it's just going to work, and you really like the design aspect of it. And this has these little swedges right here, so you can, when you're striking a ferro rod with it, which I believe it'll strike. I think from about here to here, he said, is sharp enough to strike, which is okay. If I really want one, everybody seems to dislike knives that don't strike, like the lion steel knives. Most of my lion steel knives have a rounded spine. But if I really want an area where I can strike a ferro rod, I'm handy. I'll lock it in and really nicely, cleanly grind a perfect flat edge on there. So it's not a big deal to me. Like I said, guys, know your craft. You can start kind of playing with things and taking things apart and seeing how they work to get a better idea of how to fix them. And that's how I've always lived my life, kind of trial by fire a little bit. But yeah, the cutouts on the blade are really unique and really great. These two swedges that are popped into there, but it still has this huge thick tip here. So it's just a really great build, really functional. And again, I really just wanted to give you guys a little preview on the desktop, a tabletop review. They have the TD A2, VDX A2 screws here. So they're good, and they're not going to strip out on you. I really, I love having a good folder to use once in a while. But I hate these small screws. They strip. They just strip. I don't care what anybody says. Anything that small that has teeth to rely on putting a good amount of torque on, they strip. And look at the depth in there and the thickness. That size is just perfect. So you're going to be able to get the handles off really nicely. I believe there's a bit of skeletonization in the handle, just a little bit. But this is that nice, big, broad, full tang with a really well done design. I'm telling you guys, everything about this knife is comfortable. Everything about it is comfort and a really good looking knife. I can't wait to start scratching that DLC up and using it. So again, John from Heavyset Tactical here. This is the ANV or Acta non-Verba M311 Spelter. Really love everything about it. Just got to tighten up that sheath a little bit, but that's about it. And I'm telling you guys, I have so many knives with different attachments, right, for the belt. Usually a single belt loop in the middle or a thick belt loop in the middle. Belt loop in the middle. Belt loop in the middle. Belt loop on the side. Belt clip on the side. But this comes with a Molle compatible, you just pull up this tab on the front and then slide it through. And you can take these off and put a tech lock on it, but it came with these. And you know what I thought about immediately, guys? I immediately thought about, oh my God, this is going to be a remake of that shitty Benchmade. No offense, you guys know I don't mind Benchmade stuff. Right here on my desk, I have my letter opener, which is a Benchmade bug out with the Flytanium scales, the brass scales. But needless to say, Benchmade had these loops with their Benchmade Adamas fixed blade. So I said, oh shit, are they cutting corners? Am I going to like this? And I swear to God, guys, watch my short. This is the most functional. It stays perfectly vertical. This is one of the most functional setups with these belt loops, and it accommodates any size of belt, big or small, thick or thin, and it just sits in there perfectly level because it has one on either side, and they stick out a little bit, so if you don't like that, you can do some different configurations or get some tech locks or whatever you want to do. But man, it is, in my opinion, this was one of the most comfortable carries, which is funny. I mean, it stayed right in place. No, it didn't start to adjust one way or the other. So far, guys, I've gotten a lot of enjoyment out of the M311 Spelter from Acta non-Verba knives. Love the Elmax, love the grind, love the handle. Everything except for the fit of this sheath is perfect, and that's something that I can fix myself. So you guys have a great day, a great week. I have a lot of cool videos I'm going to be shooting outside over the next couple days. So, like always, guys, stay safe and stay heavy.